Welcome to Everyday Ethics, folks. And yes, it is ethical for me to wear this because it is hot as piss in South Windsor, Connecticut, and I am not enjoying it at all. I just went for a walk because I figured get a little exercise, maybe get a little sun, and now I am regretting it a little bit. But never fear, Persephone's got a great topic for us today. I'm already aggravated, but what's new? Right?
Sun's out, guns out. It's true.
And
It's cold on the other side of the world.
well, so Persephone, just tell them what's going on, and then we'll get going. Oh, and super chats, super stickers. We really appreciate them.
Super chats, super stickers, become a channel member, follow us on Twitch, find us on Spotify, listen, leave a rating, check out the merch.
All right,
Speedrun.
yeah, now.
Oh right. Okay. So anyway, so I was doing my like research for what the hell are we going to talk about today, because we don't have any audience questions. So the when what I've started doing is I've started looking at the thank you is I've started looking at the YouTube inspiration tab, right? Whatever. Anyway, so the topic that I decided on that I thought was cool was moral resilience, navigating social ostracism while remaining steadfast in your objectivist personal values. That was the topic that YouTube suggested. And then while I was going through this, I thought, should we address Mr. Deagle's question before I get into this?
Advice for dealing with paranoia?
About a health scare.
Yeah, I'm probably the wrong guy to ask because I've been a hypochondriac for a long time. But I find that what helps for me is to just look at facts, look at reality, and see what is what. See, am I being and also, I mean, learn the cognitive thought distortions, right? Magnification, minimization, mind reading. All the things that are might be causing you to misread a situation. That would be my advice.
Yeah, I don't have any advice for that. Sorry.
All
anyway,
right, well,
I'm gonna get back to my thing.
So
the topic was like moral resilience and like holding fast to your principles even when you face social ostracism. So while I was doing the prep for this, I thought you're an interesting case study because you're facing this at the moment for some of your opinions, which you are very good, well, not your opinions. Well, yeah, you're facing criticism for your opinions and you're facing some kind of ostracism. And then I thought, you've also, being a podcaster and being creating your show is important to you. Creating your audience is important to you. And you actually lost out on something that would have been like relatively good for you professionally, speaking at the conference.
Yeah.
So you faced that's like a concrete loss to your professional life.
Sure.
Really, because of your opinions and because you don't want to, you're not conforming to the social pressure. You have your principles and you stick to them.
Yeah.
Can you just talk about, just for the people who don't watch the Capitalist Corner, can you talk just broadly about what's happened?
No.
Not specifics, just...
I don't want to get into that. I really don't. I'm sorry. I don't want to talk about that conference and these people. I will tell you this, but I will tell you about this. And I'll tell you the type of thing that helps me.
Okay.
As I was walking, I went for my walk, and I was thinking a lot about this very topic. Something that helps me is knowing that I do have people that would stand by me. So I look at Daniel, and he comes on here and he jokes around, and but he donates the 99 cents. But I know, I once saw this thing that said, I don't know if I could find 6 people to carry my casket, but I know one motherfucker who would carry it until his back broke. I know Danny would do that for me, right? I know Brent McCall would do that for me. I know Subby would do that for me. So to know the type of friendships that I've actually been able to cultivate because of who I am helps immensely. That's the first thing. I was also thinking about this book called Sometimes a Great Notion by Ken Kesey. There's a character in the book, Hank Stamper, and he always is fighting something. And he gets to the point, and he's basically just drained with fighting. He's tired of it. He says eventually you just feel like giving up. And he does, and he lets his cousin die. Right? There was a scene where the cousin was underwater, pinned. And so Hank Stamper would have had to have continued to blow air to him through a straw. And he just didn't do it. He got sick of it. He couldn't do it. And I know that feeling because I've felt it multiple points in my life where it's just like, I'm done. I'm tired. I can't keep doing this. And I had that feeling on my walk home. So I'll tell you a little bit about resilience. All right. The biggest fear I ever had in my life was my mother dying. Then my mother committed suicide, and I survived it. And I said, I can do this. Nicole Hingle, thank you so much for the $2. Appreciate that. Then my best friend and I we took on the prison system. I literally had people wanting to harm me, murderers wanting to physically harm me, and the people that are paid to protect me wanting to let them do it. On top of that, I lost my best friend, transferred out. I felt massively alone in that situation. But I kept going. I pressed forward. And then I got transferred out of the prison I'd been in for 19 years to an utter hellhole. And I thought I couldn't take it. But I did. I made it through. So, I'm in prison and I'm thinking when I get out of prison, I'll be around rational people. The people are going to be rational. That's going to be great. I'll be able to find a community of rational people. Not so much. I shouldn't say that. Not as much as what I thought would be there. I also got out and had a girlfriend that I absolutely loved, like I never even thought possible. I loved her son very much. I had a family. And then she got cancer and died. And it's like, you got to keep pressing forward, kid. You got to just keep going. You got to do it. And I do. But sometimes it's just like, fuck this, man. Like, what the fuck is the point? What is the point of telling the truth? Right? Like, what is the point of putting my opinions out there? I put a post out on Facebook where I didn't tell one lie and people are going sick about it. Right? Somebody said to me, well, 2 of your friends, Jim Valiant and Andy Bernstein are both in that group of people who have made these things. And I told them, well, why not ask either one of them if they're offended? Right? Or the woman who's accusing me of smearing people, but didn't say anything about the injustice that was done to me or the attacks that were done to me. And it's just like, why bother? Like, if these are the people that are supposed to be the rational ones, why bother? Why? Why bother? You know why I bother? You want to know why? Because I'm a motherfucking warrior. Because my spine is made of steel. Because I will do the right fucking thing, and I don't care how many people think I'm wrong. I don't care how many people tell me, well, you're not acting like an objectivist, or, you think you're so smart, or why are you taking on objectivists, or what is the point of doing this? I don't give a fuck at the end of the day. I don't mean that it doesn't bother me or that I'm never annoyed by it or anything else. What I mean is that I know what life requires. And life does not require catering to a tribe. Life does not require kissing the ass of somebody because he happens to run a objectivist organization. Right? It doesn't matter when people don't stand by me, when people don't stand up for me, because I can do it for myself. I've done it my whole life. I can do it now. And they can come on and they can say you're wrong and you're smearing or whatever other dumb fucking slogans they have. And they can say, well, you know, right now you're swearing, look it, or you get emotional sometimes. Don't give a fuck. Because at the end of the day, life requires steel. And I will not abandon my principles or what I think is right. I don't give a fuck if they lined up with machine guns on the other side of the street. And that's the truth. Because I did it in prison where murderers wanted to kill me. And I still didn't shut up. And if people think that I'm going to shut up because of what a Facebook community thinks, think again. And the whole point of this is, Ayn Rand has my favorite quote. I'm not brave enough to be a coward. I see the results too clearly. I see the results too clearly. I could stop posting and I could say, no, you're right. And I could try to make nice. I was thinking about on the way home something that I'm absolutely ashamed of myself for. Because I was thinking about a voice message that I got from somebody. And the second I got that voice message, I should have cut that motherfucker off and told him, fuck you. I want nothing to do with you. You're a goddamn coward, and I want nothing to do with you as long as I live. But I tried to be conciliatory. I tried to be nice, and I tried to talk it out. I knew right then and there what kind of human being I was dealing with, but I bent it a little bit. Big mistake. But I'll learn from it and I won't do it again. It's like another thing in that book I mentioned, Sometimes a Great Notion, where Hank Stamper says he knows what he's going to end up having to do, but he doesn't want to have to do it, so he puts it off. And it's the same thing, because when I got that voice message, I knew with whom I was dealing. I knew it. But I let, other considerations get in the way. I shouldn't have. I should have said, I know what this dude is, and that's it. I don't need another word with him. But I didn't. But I'll learn. I learned from it, because that won't happen again. That's all I have to say. Is if you want to do, hold on, I have one more thing to say. I know if I want what I want in life, I'm going to get it as me. If I can't get it as me, I won't get it, and so fucking be it, because at least I'll still have me. That's all.
So James says you are integrity incarnate, and I have to agree. Like, I think if you looked up integrity in the dictionary, it'd just be a picture of you in your tank top.
No, Jim. What was said is that you supported the war as being moral despite its being unconstitutional. This is another one of the problems, is the inability of folks to think in principle or to grasp the implications of things. So, for instance, I said there's people in the objectivist community that said it's moral to violate the Constitution if it's in favor of ends that those people judge to be good enough. Did somebody actually say verbatim, it's moral to violate the Constitution? No. If you say, however, that a given action is moral, regardless of whether it violates the Constitution, the implication, thinking in principle, is saying it's moral to violate the Constitution in this situation. I mean, it's simple logic. And the fact that people who have been studying for decades sometimes a philosophy that's supposed to teach rationality and don't understand that's the implication, that's disheartening to me.
Well, everybody thinks you're very inspiring and amazing. That's the general consensus in the comments right now.
You know,
So,
the other day, I just want to tell you, it's so funny. Because remember I told you I never saw the movie Mars Attacks. I didn't know what it was. That night, it came up on my, like, recommended movies.
okay, well, your phone is listening to you. So, at least now we know.
It wasn't on my phone.
Yeah, but are you
It
logged
was on
in?
somebody else's, you know, it was on my Tubi thing, so yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's all connected. Your devices are listening to you. It's fine.
Yeah, whatever.
So, the reason that I wanted you to talk about the not the specifics, but for a lot of people, right, the fact that this, when it comes to advancing their career or things
Stop
could-
that, please.
What? What?
Is that your
What?
phone beeping? If it's mine, then I'll stop it. But I don't
No,
think
it was
is.
it was mine. It was my husband. Actors sometimes never watch the films they starred in. Oh, it's very random. What was I saying?
Nobody
right.
knows.
When it comes to people's careers, right, they're much more likely to bend and to conform and to stay silent. Do you have any advice for those people?
For who?
The people who you stayed strong, even though you lost an opportunity that would have benefited you professionally. That's something that many people would struggle to do.
Okay, so here's the problem. The space that I'm in is one of sharing ideas and speaking about ideas. So there's some spaces where it's probably not even appropriate to share ideas like that. You know what I mean? Like for instance, if I owned a car dealership and my employees were sitting there arguing with each other about philosophy or arguing about politics, I'd probably tell them, shut the fuck up. You got a job to do here. But my job, my career, I'm in this space to talk about ideas. So I'm going to talk about ideas, and I'm not going to stop, and I'm not going to shut up, and that's it. I mean, if I end up not making it and have to quit, well, so be it. Then that's what will happen. I'm not going to succeed at being something I'm not. I'm not going to do that.
I mean, okay.
You know, the interesting thing is about this, I've got a real problem with hypocrisy. I have my whole life. Hate it. Even when I was a hypocrite. Hated it. Hated it. So when this person comes on and is blasting me, saying I'm smearing objectivists, but said nothing, had no problem when people were, you know, oh God, like I don't want to, like I don't want to just be like name dropping, not because I care or I'm afraid to put names out there. I just don't know how much relevance it has. Right?
It doesn't have a ton of
No.
relevance.
So, but you didn't care when it was said that I'm elevating others' ideas above reality. You didn't care about that. That didn't matter. You didn't care when it was said that the political party to which I'm the vice chairman, the memes are embarrassing. That was fine. But I criticized the actual truth, and somehow that's a problem. Right? Come on. Come on.
I mean, so like looking beyond your specific situation, right? Can we talk about the broader ethics of conforming to the general consensus? And
I'll tell you what, I'd rather be angry at the world for it because of injustice and inconsistency than hate myself for selling out any day of the week. And that's what it's all about. Is ethics is ultimately about doing what's best for you. And it's not going to be what's best for you to betray yourself, ever.
so, do you think those people hate themselves? 'Cause I don't think they do.
No, because I don't think that they know. Oh, wow, Olive Batasti is back. She disappeared forever.
Yeah.
but happy to have you back. No, I don't think that they know. But I don't know. See, here's the thing, right? And this is, I don't know if people know how to introspect. I don't. I know how. I know I trained myself to do it. I know that I've trained myself to catch inconsistencies in myself. And I know that I've been honest with myself about my faults. And I know that I admit when I'm wrong. I don't know what other people are doing. I don't know their cognitive processes or whether they're looking at themselves or not. Right? I don't know. And I also don't know their ability to think logically. I know mine. Right? I know mine. Why? Because I've done a lot of studying of logic. I know when I take IQ tests, I excel at logic, reading comprehension, that sort of thing. I have an abundance of independent evidence to confirm my ability to think logically. Right? So, I don't know. Like, I don't know what they know, I guess, is what I'm saying. I think that if you, God, this is not what I want to do with my life. I really, I don't, but I think that maybe it's necessary. I think that ultimately a lot of people in this world, and if you don't guard against it, we can all do it, is elevate things above truth. Right? We get a position, an opinion, a belief, whatever. And then that becomes more important than reality. I don't think people say that to themselves. I don't think people say, wow, I think I'm going to put truth above reality. I just think it's the natural course if you don't fight against it.
Yeah. I know it sucks for you. Well, I know it sucks. But the thing is, I think that you're a good example for other people of the fact that it is possible. So a lot of people think that if there's enough social pressure, anybody's gonna buckle, right?
Right. I don't know. I don't know, Persephone, about what the social pressure aspect. I'm very, I don't know what the word is. Bemused. Bemused. Look up bemused and
I don't need
share
to
it.
look up amused.
No, I want you so you can share the definition for the audience. I'm flabbergasted by the whole thing. I don't it's again one of those things where my mind doesn't it doesn't compute. I don't get it. I don't understand it. I can't fathom it.
Can't wrap your mind around it.
No.
The same way I feel about the criminal personality.
Right. It's so alien to me. Right? It's so I would spot a contradiction in myself a mile away. Right? But I guess, of course, unless I haven't seen it, and then I wouldn't know it. But I look for them, and I have caught them, and I still catch them. And when I do, I adjust, I fix it. And I'll give you an example, perfect example. And it took me, my friend Subby, once we were having an argument, and Subby said to me that he actually could see me analyzing the discussion while we were having it. Right? So the other day, Diana, I'm driving. I'm a terrible driver. But Diana wants me to drive anyway. And then she gets scared sometimes and she'll go, like that. And so she did that the other day and I was pissed off and I told her, well, can you stop fucking doing that? That's aggravating. Don't do it. I said, can you, and then she pointed out, she said, well, how about having some empathy for the person in the passenger seat that's scared? And I realized immediately, okay, she's right. It didn't take me 20 minutes. It took me 2 seconds. And I said, you know what? You're right. Because there's a contradiction there, and I knew it immediately. I wanted her to see things from my perspective when I wasn't seeing things from hers. And I've trained myself to do that, to recognize that.
Yeah, which I don't think most people have. I'm not particularly good at spotting inconsistencies unless I'm in the middle of a discussion with someone and I say things that contradict myself, and then I stop and I go, oh, wait a second. But in my general everyday life, I don't know that I'm particularly good at it.
So when Jim Valiant and I had the debate about mental illness that never made it because something happened with the computer, and then we decided to do a different topic, I admitted immediately he got me. He won that debate. Like, it wasn't. I didn't have a hard time saying, "Oh yeah, you're right here." Right? It happened immediately. I don't know. I understand the issue and I understand struggling with it, but it's not something that I generally do. So if for anybody that wants to criticize me, let's give an honest criticism. Let's find out. I mean, seriously, give an example where I've lied, where I've been dishonest, where I've attempted to manipulate somebody, where I wouldn't admit the truth. That's what I would challenge. Just do it. I mean, if I'm doing it, it should be easy. It should be easy enough. I mean, there was a guy, he said that I was committed to rationalism and then debated me and didn't know what rationalism was. He just heard somebody else say it and wanted to apply it because that's what he'd seen done. Right? So I don't know. I think that I really believe that self-awareness is vital in life. I can't imagine going through life without self-awareness, without introspecting regularly, without wanting to find someone's flaws and change them and fix them. It's just not, that's what I think people should be doing.
I agree with you. I'm just looking up, F.F. Mormani quoted something, well, not quoted, referenced something, and I'm looking it up. So the what she said was, hold on, I'm gonna get there.
She said, I don't know the legitimacy of these studies, but I remember reading somewhere that only 10 to 15% of people are self-aware. Yes, there's the, what's it now? It's a bias, and we've talked about this before on this show. I was just reading about it again.
Dr. Tasha Urich and her research team did a large-scale scientific study over 4 years consisting of 10 separate investigations with nearly 5,000 participants. And the basics were that 95% of people claimed to be self-aware, but only 10 to 15% fit the criteria for self-awareness. That was the gist of the study. But I mean, not a peer-reviewed, it wasn't published in a peer-reviewed academic journal, and her definition of what counts as self-awareness is rigorous, but someone using a different definition would get a different number. So I mean, it's true, but take it with a grain of salt.
It is 91 degrees outside here.
It's cold. I'm sitting on a heating pad, so but I prefer this 'cause I don't like being hot. Anyway.
I'm going to get in, when we're done with this, I'm putting the shower on cold and I'm getting in there.
Well, you still have to do crime corrections and culture, so...
I know.
Everybody vote.
I said when we're done.
Everybody vote in the chat if you think Michael should do crime corrections and culture shirtless. Sorry. Anyway.
I'll tell you what. If the dudes start voting that I should do the thing shirtless, I'm going to be a little disappointed.
Ian Gilmore, it's the beginning of winter in South Africa, yeah, so it's pretty cold. I know that this is kind of a crappy topic, but I think it's important. No, you can't, because Charles II did it, therefore you're not allowed to. Because you can't be similar in any way.
It's the dudes that are calling for it. I'm not doing that.
Well, I mean, to be fair, I did suggest it first, and...
Oh, God almighty. I don't know why I say almighty. It's God almighty, but I sometimes say God almighty. But I know it's almighty. And I know he's not really almighty. He's not really there.
Anyway, this has gone in an interesting direction. That's all I have to say. Everybody should go check out the merch and then join us in 15 minutes for crime.
Put the camera in the shower. Are you familiar with Seinfeld? Do you know how many times in prison? So the hot water and the heat went off in the winter. So it's freezing. I mean, they came around and passed out blankets. The water, it was ice cold in the shower. So for all you Seinfeld fans, you'll understand it. So someone's in the shower and it's freezing, and all of a sudden you hear someone yelling, "I was in the pool! I was in the pool!"
I just want to make a shirt that just has your face on it and just like,
Yes.
have you watched Seinfeld?
Yes, Enric, yes. It's frightened, though, not scared. But yes.
I thought
Do
you were
women
saying
know
yes
about shrinkage?
Yes, of course.
That's from Seinfeld. See, you need to know that.
We're gonna put that on a shirt as well.
You can't. They'll sue us. You can't. That's from
No,
Seinfeld.
no, they won't. I could claim fair use. Do women know about shrinkage? That's something anybody could say. I could argue that.
You know about it because of Seinfeld.
No, I don't. I don't. I haven't watched Seinfeld. I didn't enjoy
So you have
it
a
because-
massive amount of experience seeing this? You've seen enough of this so that you could induce it's a general truth? Why is Persephone watching naked men in cold water? Maybe we could do that for our next episode. Either way, folks, thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you for listening to me rant. In less than 15 minutes, we'll be doing crime, corrections, and culture right here on this channel, where we give you the straight dirt about the criminal justice system, prison, criminals, everything. Thank you so much. And be ethical. Oh, no show tomorrow. I got to go to New York tomorrow for a debate, interestingly, on whether billionaires are paying enough in taxes.
Bye.